If you or someone you know might be struggling with mental illness, consult a doctor or other professional healthcare providers without delay. The moment you speak out and speak up, the easier it becomes. For more information, visit the Ministry of Health and Wellness website at www.moh.gov.com. Jamaica, let's end the stigma, na man. Hi everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Hewin's Theory podcast. I'm your host Ian, and my guest for today has accomplished many feats while being a mom, a grandmother, a friend, and a mentor. She's a humanitarian at heart. She has served in the health sector for over 15 years and is no stranger to the world of media and production. Sharing her story and overcoming the many obstacles she has faced, the inspirational JoAnne Williams.
Having me.
It's an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast.
Yes.
Man, there's so much happening around the world.
Oh yes, there is.
My God, let's just jump into that. How are you? Like all of this going on, COVID.
I must say I'm thankful. I'm good. I can honestly say I'm good. I'm in a good place. I am happy. I'm celebrating my birthday today, and I'm excited. I'm ecstatic.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
What a pleasure. Your birthday is spending with me.
Yes. You know, you're special.
Very special.
Yes. So yes, I'm good. I'm really thankful. I've seen better days, but I've actually seen worse as well, and things could be so much worse. No, personally.
Yeah.
So I'm giving thanks continually.
Of course, that we have to we have life. There is hope. I mean, what more can we ask for, really?
God is good. God is good.
All the time.
All the time, dear. God is good.
Boy, JoAnne, you have an interesting background.
Do I?
I you know you do. And so for my listeners who don't know JoAnne, because what people don't realize is that you're not just Koffee's mom. You are a household name for yourself. And I know oftentimes when you go road, you often hear, oh, Koffee mother, you know.
Yeah, like I never had a name or an identity before. You know, like me never from a band, my name Koffee mother. You know, I mean, you know. Yeah. And even when people remember me from other things, they still think Koffee mother first.
Right.
And then after, but the first resonate with Koffee mother.
Koffee mother.
And then somebody said to them, you remember from? Oh yeah, she. But a Koffee mother first.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
So before all this, and JoAnne Williams was not that.
Yeah.
Tell me about your background and where you grew up, where you're from. What was life like?
You know, I grew up in what was considered to be a middle class society. No, not society. Middle class family. Yes, not society. Wrong word. So I grew up in a middle class family. Back in the day, would say that, you know, I was an only child, and I have siblings, but they are way younger than I am. So I was basically an only child for most of my life, if not up to 16 years old. So that's most of my life, you know. And so I was a child that it really was an okay life for me. It was an okay life for me. You know, I wasn't the happiest or the saddest child. There was a balance, basically, I think.
Right.
So, yeah.
Which is good. You grew up with both parents?
No.
I
was a barrel child.
So talk to me. I don't understand. You said balance. So you don't grow up with mother and father.
No, I'm a child. When I look back, I realized that there was a balance, that I think God gave me the balance there. Because I could have teetered over and gone elsewhere. My mother left me at the age of 13 months old with her mother. She didn't leave me to just leave me. She went away. She lived in Africa for 11 years. She went on work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she worked with the president of Zambia, Kenneth Kaunda, at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, she was his personal secretary. So she went away. My father was I saw him once a year, pretty much. And maybe once or twice in between, maybe. But so my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, and my maternal uncle raised me. So my maternal uncle is even now still, I call him daddy.
Dad.
Yeah, so because he's the first person I recognized as daddy, because he was there every day.
Understand.
So yes, so that's basically how I was raised.
I mean, as you say, some things are just unexplainable, right? It's just God
it's just
work.
Really God. When I look back, because so many things, I've experienced so many things in life, negative things, and you know, some of it might affect me now in a way that I don't even realize, or that I might realize and I'm starting out. But so many things have happened to me in life. as a child, you know, and yeah, it's God.
Tell me one of your memory that one thing that stood out to you, a moment that stood out to you that you would never forget as a child.
Negative or positive?
Negatively, that has affected you now, like, you know, has really shaped the journey for you.
This is going to be strong. Brace yourself.
All right, ready. Listeners, ready.
I was molested as a child. And in my early teenage years, I was raped. Those things stand out and make me very paranoid for my children, especially my girls. So it makes me, it takes me to a place. I think I've come a long way. I've come a far way, but I was told in recent years that I still need therapy, because I thought I was therapeutic for me. Right. And I thought that I'm therapy for other persons, I'm told. So I thought I was good for me. But I was told recently that I could still use some therapy. So talk therapy would be good for me.
You think you started?
Not yet. I got that 6 weeks ago, you know. And about 6 weeks ago, I'm to make an appointment right now. Well,
I go and make that appointment for you.
Thank you.
Sometimes we forget that, you know, as you said, we're therapeutic for other people.
Yeah.
And internally we're hurting and we don't even realize it.
That we are.
And I don't want to use horoscope or anything else, but I'm a Taurus and I'm stubborn by nature, right? And I it's minus horoscope, that's who I am.
That's who you are.
I oftentimes just shove things under the rug, and like, you know, you have to really get it out. You're talking to people, and you see, you present yourself as such a strong woman, and you are a strong, beautiful woman. But then something inside of you just need to let go of a part of you.
Yes.
But
actually, you know, other than the molestations and the rape, I was physically abused, verbally abused, mentally abused, and this is by my said parents who raised me. They did well because that's what they knew. So, but when I look back, that's what it was, and when I talk, we talked about it, and when I look back and talk about it, we realize that's how they were raised as well. So they knew no different than to share that with me.
But I mean, okay, for parents who are still stuck in that traditional way of grooming a child, what's your take on that?
You have to make a concerted effort to take yourself away from that. It's a cycle, and you have to make that effort. You have to do it. Step out and decide, look, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do this. If it's even for you to remember how bad you felt as a child growing up when you experienced that, and not want to put it on your children. If it's even that, because you love your children that much that you don't want to hurt them or harm to come to them. And that's what I do. I still have a little of it, so that sometimes I have to shake, because I remember as a child, I remember beating Michaela one time. I mean, when I beat her, my shoulder, I mean, I'd be a little patter, not beat. One time I beat her. I remember I beat her, and I went and cried after that for how badly I beat her. I remembered how I was beaten as a child. The more them around us for discipline at the time. And that's what they knew, like I said, so that's what they handed down. But it was in love. It really was in love.
Yeah.
They knew no better. So like I said, to respond to that, again, I reiterate, you have to make a concerted effort to step out of that cycle.
Right.
To do different
and break that tradition.
Break the tradition and do.
So, how many kids do you have?
5.
5. Who's your favorite?
All of them.
Oh, good answer. Safe answer. You're very smart.
All of them. You're not drawing me out today.
Michaela is what of the...
She's the baby of them all.
She's the last one.
The very last one.
Wash belly.
Was never expected.
That's what they call her. Wash
belly.
Okay.
Wash belly.
Yeah, good.
If I'm glad I never expect her, I'm just buck up in her.
Just buck up.
Yeah, when the song was sang, so I'm buck up in her.
Yes.
She never buck up in her.
That's funny. Yeah. What was Michaela like as a child?
She was a cry baby.
That gosh.
And she wanted to have mother. And nobody else not have mother but she, because when her mother gone, you know, it was like about a week ago I was talking to a lady who used to look after her when she was young, when she was about 4 or 5. And that lady said to me, she remember one night Michaela wake up in the hours of the night about 3-4 o'clock and bawl for her mother, you know. And she just a bawl, such a whole neighborhood wake up, you know. And she would not stop. She don't know how, I don't remember what she said she did or what happened, and she bawled, she stopped, but she just, nothing couldn't calm her. She wanted her mother. And that's how she would operate all the time when I would leave her.
Oh boy.
She would cry after me, because all her brothers, all her siblings are older.
Right.
But the things that I have for her are older. But, so she was then like the only child. So she never knew anybody else but her mother. Yeah. And it's me and her most of her life.
No, trust me, I can relate. Even though it's the opposite for me, where I'm the first child.
Okay.
But based on stories that my mom used to tell me, like she say they could have never go out and have a date or anything. Nobody can tell.
One mother. I up on the date too.
Don't. Boy, so how you manage raising 5 kids? Huh?
I'll tell you. Fortunately, or unfortunately, I didn't raise all 5.
Okay, right, because you mentioned that sometime you would have left.
I raised Michaela. Michaela's the only one I raised from birth till now.
Right. Okay.
So all the others were raised by my family or their father.
Okay. When you go out on the road, what's it like now?
Oh boy. See coffee mother, yeah? Come and take a picture with her. See a coffee mother, you know? A coffee mother, take a picture with coffee mother. You can't get coffee, take a picture with coffee mother, man. You can't say no coffee mother.
Oh God, what a feeling, right?
It's a really proud feeling though. To know that she's, for the most part, I can safely say that she's representing Jamaica in a positive way. And I'm thankful.
Yeah.
I'm honored that I had the opportunity to raise her, that God blessed me with the opportunity to raise her.
With her.
And to bring her to here.
Was it what were some of the challenges like with Michaela? Like, was she a stubborn child? Was she easygoing?
She wasn't easy. I never had a problem with her, really. Not really. I really don't have any to speak of that were so out of just
the
out left field. No, sir. None. She would speak her mind. But it wasn't that difficulty. It wasn't anything that was an obstacle. I really never had any. Whatever obstacles that were there were on my part. Were just mine, not from her.
Right.
Yeah. And we just and I think I did well balancing those obstacles, because when I asked her, life was rough when I was raising her. It was rough. And when I asked her no, in her adult years, I hear people ask her. She told me, as a matter of fact, that person asked her what was the hardest thing in life for her, what was the hardest part of life for her.
Right.
And she said all she remembers is the hardest part for her was going in bus and taxi. The people in and stuff, you squeeze up. That was the hardest.
That was the only struggle.
That was the only struggle for you. Okay, well, I didn't.
Well, you did that great.
Because she never know half a way that one.
If that's alone, with your problem, then you're good.
No problem. Yeah.
I know, right?
So yeah.
So
she was a good child.
A good child. And like, when she decided to step into that, like, what was it that was that challenging for you?
Yes, it was. When I saw her headed there, all my antennas went off. I was like, dear God, she's going to go here. I am not in this part of the industry. And this part of the industry that I am in is you can't be such a dog-eat dog. What she going to do in another industry? I'm going to kill her in the Lord of mercy. I can't manage her. Oh Lord Jesus, I can't protect her, because I spent all her life trying to protect her and from all that I could. So now when she was going out there, I was like, oh dear God, can she manage this?
Right.
So that was my concern.
Right. And you also didn't know that she was that singer
no,
and all
these
these.
Right?
You never know.
She's a third farm.
Exactly. You never know that.
No, and long after that, now I'm going through her old books and I see almost every book that she has that you can write in, lyrics right in there. You can't throw them away. I can't tell her, she said, Mommy, put them down, because she will go through them and remember things, and things will come back to her that you want to probably go back and look at, to see where it came from.
Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And what do you have to say to like the parents? Because a lot of young people are stepping into the space of more like creative content space now, YouTube, podcasting, even myself. What do you say to those parents, and what encouragement you have for them, for their kids?
Support your child. Not every child was born to be a police, doctor, nurse, lawyer, and all those big wigs. Somebody has to do other things. Everybody has to do other things. Everybody has their own niche that they have to carve. And support your children. As long as they're not thief, they're not kill nobody, they're not doing nothing illegal. With whatever they're doing is legal, stand with them.
Support. Oh, it's a hustler.
Yes.
Listen, I research,
And
you've been hustling.
Yes, ma. Yes, sir.
So, like, that is... Boy, I can't even find a word to tell you how that makes me feel.
Wow,
like looking at you, like I can't even find the right words to say. But being a hustler, right, and having so many kids, like, that's a super sacrifice that you have to make. And like, coming to terms with yourself to doing that is just amazing. Yeah. And still here right now.
You have to do what you have to do.
You have to.
I can tell you what a lady said to me one day. I don't remember who it was, but I remember what she said clearly. She said to me, Boy, I can't tell you how I rate you. Every time you look on, you know, one different word, but you ever depend on the hustling, girl.
Honestly.
I love it, I rate your feet.
Honestly.
You not sit down.
And
my baby have to eat.
you would think that, you know, Michaela being the superstar that she is, Grammy winner, etc., etc., and we know what else come with that. You would have just sit back, relax, and retire now.
No. I mean, not wrong my foot, my man. I have to work, but my brain still functional. Going to work. Until I can't go to work no more.
No more, right?
Yeah, or until something else tell me say don't work no more. But not Michaela and her income.
Right.
That's her. She's making her life.
Right.
And I would love to allow her, and that's what I'm doing.
That's what you are doing.
Yes, I'm allowing her to do her thing.
Just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. She never leaves me. She supports me in any way she can, in every way she can. But hers is hers, and I respect that fully.
Of course. How do you? I know at one point. I mean, listen, you're the manager.
Yes.
How do you balance being her manager, quote unquote, we put it at that, and being mom?
Okay, so I'm not her manager. I never was ever her manager. I was told that I'm the momager some time ago, and I adopted that word, and I feel fine with that position because of the fact that I don't think I'd make a good manager for her for many reasons. The main one is that I'm very emotional, and I would find that hard to separate. And Michaela would want her mother all the time, and I would want to be her mother all the time. I wouldn't want for us to have to be separating the manager from the mother. I want us to keep the relationship that we have. We have a very good relationship, and I want us to keep it that way.
Right.
And I prefer it this way.
I know you mentioned that she, earlier in our conversation, you were saying, like, you know, she specifically said, you want to tell us what she said.
She said, Mommy, I want my mommy all the time. I want to have my mom all the time.
My God.
I don't want to have to separate. And I so fell in love with that, what she said. It's in the concept was real. It's real.
Real love.
Yeah. And I want that as well for us.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, you're doing good.
Thank you so much. She still calls her mother. She comes to mommy. She comes over when she wants to, and she calls me mommy. I need you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but rocks her up when she on the wrong path and she going down something, right?
Yeah.
What's one advice that you, not just coffee, we want to take that away now. Your kids overall, one advice that you share with them and all of them have in common that you want to share now, or that you would give to me or my listeners?
Work hard for what you want. A number of things. Work hard for what you want. Be humble. Be thankful for all things. Give thanks in all ways.
A word.
Be humble. Yeah, man, be humble.
And that's like one thing with you that I know, that you are humble.
Thank you.
You're the humblest person I've met so far. Like, you know, reason why I say this is because of what I know is out there, you know, with your life and everything and your kids, specifically speaking about coffee. Like, you still remain you. Like, that never changed.
No, and I can't. I don't know that it will. I don't know how to. I'm just me.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that I'm me.
What keeps you humble? Like, what keeps you humble?
Remembering where I'm coming from. And that's another thing that I would tell. Remember where you're coming from and know that you're going forward for something positive. Have a high aim in view. Go for it. I remember where I'm coming from. And as much as I was a child who I really wasn't in want for much, I want to be a better person every day. I want to be a better me. I want to keep learning. I want to do better things. I want to be able to help people. That's my passion, helping. And that's why I'm in the field that I'm at.
And what's that field?
Mental health.
Oh, wow.
I was in the HIV program for 13 years and I left that and transitioned to mental health. But it's helping just the same, and I love to do that.
My God. Mental health. How important is that to you?
Oh my. It is at the top of my list, right after God and my children. There's no good health without good mental health. So if all of you physically fit,
say that again. Say that again.
That's a mantra from the mental. I don't know when I went into mental health.
Say that again.
There is no good health without good mental health. Because your body could have fit and pan fleek and pan which part of it is and cute and so. If your head part now work good, you're sick. You're not well.
Yeah.
You need help. And until you are able to accept and acknowledge that you possibly could need help and seek that help, then you are lost, pretty much. For mentally, you're not well. You have to get it together. You have to get it together. And you have to understand that a lot of persons take mental illness For if you hear persons who hear the word mental illness think,
Mad.
oh, I'm mad. You know, you want to go to the psychiatrist. No, I'm not mad. But to go to the psychologist or the psychiatrist, it's a good thing. It's a great thing. You know, you find your balance, you know where you are. You're not going to take medication because you go to I don't mean that you're mad.
Right.
Depression is mental illness. Anxiety is mental illness. A lot of persons don't want to accept and acknowledge that.
Right.
All kinds of things. Grief can lead to mental illness because it leads you to depression, it leads you to anxiety, and then all kinds of things come after that. And then you're mentally totally off. When I was doing this course, I realized that I was blown away when I was told by the lecturer that it's possible that 1 in 5 persons who are not mentally, not diagnosed. Let me say that again. It's possible that research has shown that 1 in 5 persons who have never been diagnosed with a mental illness could possibly be suffering from a mental illness though they themselves even realizing it. I was blown away. You could take a feather and turn it over.
I've heard that statement before, and I was shocked.
I am still in shock every time I think of it. It means that all our family have somebody they were mentally unwell. We don't realize it or not. Sometimes it come out loud, sometimes it doesn't. But every one of us sometimes we ourselves are mentally not well. So we need to pay attention to that.
And it goes back to what you were saying, where like somebody had to say to you, like, JoAnne, you need to go to therapy. And you know what I mean? You just kind of like self-realize, not like, listen, you look in the mirror and you say, you know, I probably need to. Me. Yeah, you need to get it done.
Yeah.
And that's when you're doing it for yourself, nothing is more beautiful than that. You know what I mean? You're not doing it for anybody, for pleasing anybody. You're doing this for yourself. And self-realization is beautiful.
It's great. And you know what? It works out for not just you, but for everybody else around you. Because everybody's get to experience a better you, and not just you.
Right. And you are so big on like humanitarian, like how can you want to be helpful to others when you can't help yourself?
Exactly.
Like you are not at a mentally stable place to even help someone.
Yourself, so can you help somebody else?
Exactly.
You have to be mentally well and stable to be able to help somebody else.
Boy, everything that was on the script to talk about, I don't even know where we reach. I love it. But yes. So we're going to go back. I know, listen.
Yes.
You are a little comedian by nature.
What's about doing?
Like the first time I met you, let me tell you guys, when this lady meet you for the first time, please tell them what were your expectations. Because we only we didn't even speak on the phone. Somebody just said to you, ask for X, Y, Z. Go and ask for Ian.
Yeah.
When you reach.
When we reach now, I see this little man come out. This young man, this nice looking young man, you know one. Small enough, big body, but him not big like big women that think. But I think about a big giant old man. And when I see this, I still look around. When he came out, the young lady at the front desk said, Ian, I said, and so I'm looking to see where Ian. I look to see one next to me. I said, oh, she can't even call Ian. Okay. So I wait for Ian, so he come and I said, okay.
Because what happened, I knew it was you, but you didn't know it was me.
No.
And I was on a call, and I said to you, one moment.
I saw when he did that, but I was like, okay, ma come tell me, say, Ian soon come.
And then I just say, I'm Ian XYZ, and then you tell me, you're looking for
I can that you for a big, tall old man. So the opposite was what I came across. The most pleasant young man in a long time that I met. Pleasant, well spoken,
I appreciate
and well mannered.
JoAnne,
Your mother, the parents did a good job, young man.
Thank you.
Tell them I said big up.
I will.
That's it.
Oh God! You see, it's point proven. You're such a comedian, and you make so many Jamaicans laugh. And again, JoAnne is a household name in media and production before this whole Koffeemaker thing, right? Yes. So let's jump into that. Like, when did that become a thing of yours? Like, when did you realize that's something you want to jump into?
Darling, from here, I'm in My father, as much as I never used to see him often, he would say words that would impact me to this day. He would say to me, as I remember as a child, about 7, 8 years old, he would say to me, you should go into drama. You're so dramatic, and I could never figure out what he's saying. I never saw that. And he would, every time he saw me, I would always say something that would have him saying that to me. But I remember that. Growing up though, I grew to have a passion for singing. So I was singing. Every chance I got, I was singing. I was riding rhythm. Whenever they sing over them with the Anita Baker, them No One in This World. me there dance and party, I sing over. You know, no one in this world I sing over other songs, and I sing over and I sing over. And but it didn't go anywhere really. And so I sing at church. I used to sing in a group at church. The group is no longer because persons have migrated and stuff. But the passion for acting never left. And I've always had a passion to do that, the singing and the acting. So I left the singing along the way. But the drama part of it, I auditioned for the pantomime in 1996.
1996?
Yes, and I got through.
Oh, gosh.
And I can't tell that I lost my husband in 1994. And so that was a healing process for me. I needed something without realizing that was what I was doing. When I jumped into that was healing for me because I was in grief. I was going into depression fast.
Oh, wow.
And so that kind of, but he was my world. And so, not my kid's father. Okay, so
we won't touch on that.
No, not at all. So, when I had auditioned, they had put out that they need the persons for the pantomime that year, and I auditioned. And it's as you have to be able to sing and dance, or at least 1 minute, or at least if you can't sing, you can dance, because there will be no chorus, and if you can't sing so much and whatever. So I did that, and I was successful, and I stayed 2.5 seasons in pantomime. So I did that, and as a result of that, I did my first commercial. Erica Wilson, who was a classmate of mine at the time, introduced me to the whole commercial thing, and I did a commercial with JPS, for JPS, because of Erica Wilson. And then I met Ian. Did I meet Ian before? Yes, I met Ian before. I met IT, that's IT, Ian. IT Ellis.
I was just like, what
Ian, IT Ellis, I'm a virgin for years before him bus big.
But,
yeah, man. So I met Ian before my husband died. Ian knew my husband. He met my husband. And so we were friends from them time there. So fast forward to now when Erica took me back into the commercial world, Ian find me and take me to, at the time it was a young lady named Sedine Dalbury. I never forget her name because Ian used to say sardine out of fun. So he say Sedine Dalbury, he sent me to her at Courts, and that's where I got my second commercial, and from then that rest is history. So I did commercial for Courts, for Lime, when Cable and Wireless, when it was Lime and Cable and Wireless, and Courts and whatever else, and TV and radio.
Yeah, because remember I was saying to you earlier that the voice sounded very familiar. Yes. I was just, I wasn't thinking that it was you, or I didn't remember. And then I looked back, and then I, started looking back at some YouTube videos, and I'm like, wait a minute. Yes. This is JoAnne.
Yes, and then IT put me in him show in some of his kids.
The IT and Fancy Cat show. I remember, like, one of my favorite was one that you asked him to go get some mangoes.
The thief in Boy Rosa, tip me $500. And I know him come up down with 2 mangoes. I'm like, rest of my money yet,
Yeah, that was one of the most hilarious.
You should have known I just a thumpy man now. You understand? Sure.
Boy, that's such a good show. I think almost every Jamaican used to look forward to that on Sundays.
Yeah, man, it's true. And I used to look forward to it as well. The ones that I never used to watch me per se. I never found my skits funny. I don't know. Even though sometimes I want people laugh. I'm like, okay.
You're a character.
No, but it's true.
Just doing this right now, you're a character.
But I really used to like Item Fancy Cat. I still do. I love them. Yeah. So yeah.
Boy, so then you still even through all of that, you still stand by your 9 to 5. Yeah, man, and anytime a little side thing, So now I do MC on the side. I MC weddings. Right. I still do. Every chance I get. Multi-potentialite. That is the word. You act, you sing, you this, you that, you everything, your mom, you do all these things. Thank you. But you still not leave your 9 to 5. No. Why is helping people so important to you? Because I was helped. I was helped many times in my life, and it was a good feeling that I got from being helped. I was very appreciative. I wasn't able to pay back everybody, whether it be cash or kind, that they helped me with. I wasn't able to pay back everybody. And even now, I'd love to be able to find some of the persons that helped me that I could give back. And I don't know where some of them are. We just lost touch. Yeah. But it feels good to help because, what it feels like to have the shoe on the other foot. It's as simple as that. Yeah. And you're such an emotional person. I very much am. And you're not afraid to show it. No. You bask in your happiness if you're happy. You go in your sadness if you're sad. Grumpy if I'm grumpy. I'm miserable. I'm quarrel if I'm quarrel. And that is a beautiful. I go right back. I'm going to stay there. But you're still JoAnne.
I am me.
Love that.
Thank you.
JoAnne, this conversation needs like part 2.
Whoops, thank you.
Because there's so much more to indulge in. Your favorite coffee song? Is it Burning?
It's all of them, you know, but I have a little thing.
Why you didn't just have it right? Answer them about all of them. You know, see, I have a little favorite.
No, all I say, you know, say, when we go up on the show them, and the nicest thing when we go up on the show with her, and I love go up on the show with her, see? But I stand on the side of the stage and watch her perform. It's joy to me.
It's just beautiful to watch.
Yeah. And so, Blazing though has a little thing. It's a little vibe that it brings. And I really like it. I really like Burning. I don't know if it's the Jane Magismo thingy where she does the thing, you know. But I really love it.
So Blaze is your favorite song?
Blazing, yeah.
Blazing. Blazing.
Yeah.
You have a bust a tune for you. Can you say you're a big singer? So
we appreciate. You say you're a big singer. Man.
Come on.
Alright, let me try a little thing. Catch a fire, make it burn. Say a prayer anyway you turn. If we not teach them, all them are gonna learn.
Hey.
Yeah. Leaders them no concern.
Hey.
One know where them can't earn.
Hey.
Get to youth stand firm. Yeah, yeah.
Hey.
Yo,
Hey.
bad man.
Bad.
And then I love Jane Magismo part. Just
God.
yeah man.
Boy, Coffee come in with a rapture.
Let me tell you, and I don't get captured. Not captured, I don't get captured.
Oh God. So JoAnne, what's one thing you want to tell Coffee right now? She's listening to the podcast, and you tell her one thing that you want to say.
I love you. I'll always love you. And I'll always be here for you as long as there's life in me. And I'll always be here.
Well, I love that. JoAnne, you know, my heart, love you. Can't wait for part 2 of the conversation. We're just going to edit there. And happy birthday again.
Thank you.
Oh God, so we have to lead with our affirmations. You know how we do it right here on the podcast. And our affirmation is, the secret of getting ahead is getting started.
It's all in these little steps that makes the journey complete.
Do you believe that?
I do.
You have shared so much. The little steps.
The little steps.
And I know you had your affirmation too. You want to share it with the podcast as well? Your affirmation that you mentioned to me a little bit earlier on with the steps.
Oh, it's something that I've adopted. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with just one step.
Well, I love that, JoAnne.
Yeah.
Thank you again. See you soon. We need to invite to the dinners.
Yes.
The little flights to home. I don't know about
when start keep back.
Right. Once the world open up back.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, man, for sure.
All right. Love you, Joe.
Looking forward to it.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe wherever you stream podcasts. Tune in, same place, same time, right here on the Hewin's Theory Podcast.